Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday, September 24th, 2020 session in our series of public seminars on digital transformation in traditional and new industries in Asia. Um, I'm Richard Dasher. I direct the U.S. Asia Technology Management Center. We're very happy to present this series, which is also available to Stanford students for credit. Let me share a slide very briefly because I want to make sure that we can let people know that we've got some exciting programs coming up. First of all, we have a special program next Wednesday afternoon from 5:30 with Dr. Amit Kapoor, who is the CEO of the Indian Council on Competitiveness and also a visiting scholar with us right now. He's going to talk about his new book that's just been published online by Bertelsmann. And then in this series, our presentation next week moves from China to India, where we talk about digital technologies and access to healthcare by the NPO sector in India. This will be a panel discussion with Dr. Priyanjali Datta, the founder and CEO of Arugya, and also Ms. Rekha Pai, who is a social impact investor as well as a board member of another nonprofit in India. Plus, the technical kind of foundation for a lot of this, we have a mentor for both of these projects from Cisco Systems India, Mr. Ravi Rao. So we have some exciting programs coming up. You can join them easily by going to our homepage, clicking on the appropriate button, and registering. Please remember that at the end of our formal class today, we're going to keep going for those of you who can stay with us for another 30 or 40 minutes and have a much more informal networking session. This will not be recorded. It will be completely optional for students, but it's an occasion when we can have a more kind of interactive, slightly smaller group at the end of our regular presentation. So please be prepared for that. Do note that this session is being recorded right now, and we are going to post the video on a public place. So if you do not want your video image to be seen or you want to hide your presence, please take appropriate measures. Also, for students who are registered in the class, your comments for last week's session will be due next Thursday, October 1. All comments are always due within 2 weeks of the time of the class. So that means that comments from today's session will be due on October the 8th. I've gotten comments from some of the class. The video is now up on YouTube on our website too. So if you do need to refer back to the video of last week's, you can do that in order to write your comments. So we're very happy today to welcome back someone who has been a friend of Stanford for a long, long time. Dr. Daniel Zhang did postdoctoral work here doing formal modeling with what is in the department of what is now management science and engineering. And Dr. Zhang took his technology back to China and essentially started a supermarket chain with it. So that he founded Wumart, I think, in 1994, and Wumart has grown to be one of the largest supermarket chains in China. Dr. Zhang is also very qualified to speak about the topic of digital transformation because he was responsible for an O2O, online to offline, digital fast turnover retail, food retail called D-Mall. And looking forward a great deal to hearing Dr. Zhang's comments about what it's like to see these changes in the retail industry in China. So, Dr. Zhang, why don't I turn over the podium to you at this point? Thanks so much for coming today.
We're very happy to come back to Richard's podium to talk more about the digital transformation for retail industry. 6 years ago, I was invited by Richard to give a talk about retail in China and online opportunity. From this picture, you may find out many people have interest on this topic. Today, I'm going to talk about retail digitalization and unification of offline online. Today's talk will cover 5 major topics. 6 years gone, what has Wumart done since last speech? The strategic choice faced by us back in 2014. The third issue is Tmall's development trajectory. I would like to explain what's Tmall. It's the digital malls meaning later. Tmall plus Wumart and Metro, the retail digitalization roadmap. The last issue is digitalized operation and consolidation. It's the future. From this slide, you may find the left part is back to 2014. Wumart mainly presents their stores in 3 regions. And now Wumart cover almost whole China. So in 2015, Wumart was highly acclaimed for its buy and turnaround story of China business of B&Q. It's a European model of Home Depot, a British multinational DIY and home improvement retailer, solely owned by Kingfisher. Just in a year or so, we made this business be profitable. And now, B&Q China is a pioneer for digital transformation in DIY and home improvement area. In 2019, Wumart became the biggest shareholder of CBEST, the largest retailer in Southwest China. This transaction is quite influential. That means Wumart Group has a very strong household in Southwest China. The total sales of CBEST is over 30 billion RMB. This year, April, we successfully completed the deal of 2 billion euros to hold 80% stake in Fortune 500 German-based Metro China's business. Now we have all over 1,800 stores. Sales is over 100 billion. 100 billion. So back to 2014 when I was invited to give a talk in Stanford. Frankly speaking, Wumart Group and myself faced a great challenge at that time. The reason is the retail is changed completely. We know retail industry has been always playing an important role in driving the upgrading of consumption, stabilizing the supply chain, keeping the society operating, and countering the downward pressure on the economy. And when we talk about the situation change, it's because Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, GD, they start from online and utilize internet as a weapon, just give brick and mortar retailers a big pressure. So why they are so successful? The reason is the number of mobile internet users has reached 3.5 billion around the world, and the digital economy picks up more than 15% of global GDP. In China, the number could be a little bit higher. I heard it's 1/3. And in China, there are over 900 million netizens. Most of them are using smartphone. Digital technology is progressing fast, including AI, big data, and cloud computing. Manufacturers and retailers face common challenges and opportunities of integrating the digital economy with the real economy. Today you cannot just separate two things: a digital company or traditional company. This is wrong. The real future is combine the two things together. Digitalization becomes growth driver, cultivating new industry, new formats of business who did not exist a few years ago. This is a background. Now we come to the specific retail industry. I put two charts here. One is about China, one is about United States. From those two charts, we can find both countries' offline's growth rate is lower than online. So we use the name is store-based, non-store. Yeah. So this tendency will keep growing. Since 2014, many retailers went bankrupt, and the time was challenging, while our peers were barely surviving. We made our digitalization strategy clear to tap into the trend. So this is now I talk about Dmore. Dmore is a company I established in second half of 2014. And Dmore represents digital mall. And so the mission for Dmore is try to serve brick and mortar retailers to transform themselves digitally. Dmore was launched in 2015 and as a pivotal turn of our digitalization process. You know why I say it's pivotal turn? Because back to 2014, for retailers to embrace digitalization, we do not have many choices. Majority of them just build B2C app, or even at that time it's PC-based e-commerce thing. Yeah. But I don't think this can work. So, and I believe for traditional retailers, you have some resources. You have many stores, and every store is a good spot for you to unify your customers' online and offline demands together. Every spot, every store could be an attractive point for customer come to you. So I think it's better build up at that time called distributed e-commerce, to really fit on store-based retailers' digital transformation. In addition to that, I think we need a new company, not e-commerce department under Wumart group. So we have many investors, including IDG, including Merchants Bank, Tencent, and many very important manufacturers. And we have a lot of young talents. And this company is located in Zhongguancun, kind of China Silicon Valley. These slides try to give everybody more concrete idea about how fast China's fresh food and SMCG market evolving. You can see in the online growth rate is quite high. From 2015 to 2019, it's about 18%. Offline is only 1.6%. So we see online fresh thing annual sales reached 1,500 billion in 2009. Sorry, the number I mentioned here is RMB. The growth trend is estimated to be continued for the coming years to reach a value of about 3,000 billion in 2014. So revealing a figure at 14% from 2019 to 2020. With the respective of offline channel, the market size of this industry also illustrated an increasing trend, from almost 4,000 billion to, only 4,150 billion. So that means the growth rate is quite low. From this slide, we can really sense brick-and-mortar retailers' pressure from the e-commerce development. China's online grocery sales taking shares from offline, this is obvious. So the number indicate these trends even further. 2007 is almost zero, 2012 is 5%, and 2017 now it's 15%. 2022 could be 21%, but we think this number could be even larger. We noticed after the COVID happens in the United States, Walmart's online sales growth 3 digits in several months already. And the whole industry just turned to online business. If we talk about the growth contribution in the future, online part will be even higher. From those explanation, we may understand more. Why back to 2014, after my Stanford speech, I should establish a company called Wumart to help Wumart do digital transformation. In addition to that, I believe Wumart should be an independent company. Why? Because if we want to do brick-and-mortar retailers transformation, that means we need a huge investment. And because China's retail industry is still quite fragmented, If one company like Wumart hire 1,000 software engineers to do this app, to do this specific retail cloud just for Wumart, I think economically it's not a wise decision. But if we use this opportunity to build a company, use Wumart as an experimental company to do some transformation work. Later on, we apply those success technology experience model to other retailers. That means we can do something for improving the whole industry and help the whole industry to be digitalized. So now I'm going to talk a little bit more about DMARC. So DMARC officially launched on April 1st, 2015. And now DMARC become a very significant player in China's fresh and FMCG market. Due to the time reason, I will not elaborate this too much. So DMARC's mission: improve retailers' efficiency and enhance customer shopping experiences. You may find we focus on to be then to C. To be then to C. We also can use this terminology to describe DMARC. We are industrial internet performer. In the meantime, we also have consumer internet features. DMARC's vision is to become a global leading digital fresh grocery platform. The value for DMARC is customer-centric, collaboration, integrity, due diligence, and strive for innovation. This slide is very important. Innovative business model has been well received by the market, by investors, by customers, by retailers. There are 5 major points. Necessity goods and frequent visit lead to huge traffic. Proven path of digitalization for retailers. Low cost to acquire and retain customers. Online and in-store retail practices integrated into digitalized retail OS with more than 600 core business modules, successfully deployed by 100 plus retailers in the past 5 years. You see, it's not a small number, 100 plus retailers. So DMARC is not only work for Wumart. In fact, DMARC is an enabler. If you come to Wumart store, if you open the app, you will see this is a Wumart app. If you come to Wuhan Zhongbai store, you will see Zhongbai's app. If you come to Walmart experimental store, you will see Walmart app. If you come to Metro China store, you will see Metro app. So that means DMARC is a real enabler for retailers to embrace digitalization. The fourth point, leverage and optimize retailer supply chain for stores and last mile deliveries. So DMARC try to help retailer to improve their supply chain and also carry on the last mile delivery. So that means a retailer works with DMARC, they can have a complete business arrangement for everything. We call it a circle. Yeah. The last thing is if we want to do this very innovative business innovation, we need to have a unique team with both retail and technology DNA. This part I should give some very warm words to Stanford. In early 1990s, I spent some time in Stanford as postdoc study here, and I have learned a lot from Silicon Valley and Stanford. After I returned to China, I established my software company. That company tried to develop a product at that time called management information. It's kind of ERP to help Chinese retailers to upgrade their business, let them really manage every single SKU, every single customers. But unfortunately, nobody really appreciates my software, my innovation. So later on, I thought I should open a showcase store, let everybody know my software can really work. So at the end of 1994, I opened the first sizable and a real supermarket in Beijing. The supermarket is great. So later on, I just used the money generated by the first store at more and more stores. However, myself and the Wumart team still have very strong technology DNA. We can see the chart on the right. You see there are many numbers. Now registered user for Dmall is over 100 million, and monthly active user (MAU) is around 18 million. Dmall linking people, place, and the product. Dmall's core technology, Dmall's digital retail platform are quite important, and also Dmall Online has over 100 retailers work together to improve the Dmall every day. Talk about the alliance. We think that Dmall Alliance, technology align, it's members align, supply chains align, standards align, and also IoTs align. So the last part of this slide, you can see omnichannel, full coverage, and full system integration. All those things are quite technology. So probably we may discuss this further in the future. I want to use this slide to explain Dmall a little bit. One system is Dmall's technology. Dmall has now over 1,000 software engineers. In fact, they rewrite retail ERP based on digitalization's latest progress. And the one system support retailers. We always say enable B, and service C. C is our over 100 million customers. So we enable 100 retailers with right now is 13,000 stores to serve over 100 million customers. This is two missions. Scenarios, supermarkets, convenience stores, and home delivery, auto, instant. There are many benefits for retailers. And this is this is quite fundamental for Tmall's model. So Tmall OS is complete digital solution, in-store and home delivery, omnichannel, reduce costs and improve productivity with more sales and more customers. For customers, definitely more convenient, and more importantly, unified online offline experience by one mobile app. Assurance, trustworthy retailers and supply chain. For this part is, in China, many newcomers try to provide fresh food, but customers may not trust them. But if Tmall work with existing retailers, the retailers have been serving local people for many, many years. So, it's easy for them to go with us. Variety of selections is because for dark stores type fresh operators, it's very hard for them to carry, let's say, 8,000 SKUs or 10,000 SKUs. So from this slide, you can see the mobile app in the central. In fact, it's the core for Tmall's business model. On the members, regardless from supermarket, convenience stores, or online customers, use the app. Now the app integrate all this information. Some of them they use the app at store, scan to go. Some of them, do some group purchasing. Some of them order from home, and all this information go through a store, then to DC, then to the manufacturers. So this model, Tmall plus retailers leverage and optimize retailer supply chain for lower cost and higher efficiency. From these slides, you can find so many retailers' names have been added to the list, long list. So over 100 retailers joined Tmall. It's quite significant progress. Those numbers come from a third party called Analysis, a very famous China's data research company. And according to their observation, by June 2020, Tmall is the 7th largest e-commerce app. This including Taobao, including Pinduoduo, Jingdong, Tmall, and VIP Shop, Xiaohongshu. This is a very significant achievement in e-commerce app area. The competition is very serious. Please pay attention. Although the number is quite high, but the monthly growth rate, that means to compare with the May, Tmall still grows 4.6%. This slide is a summary. Demo right now covered 31 provinces, 110 retailers, 13,000 stores, 110 million members, 18 million MAU, and Wumart has become the leading digital fresh grocery platform in China. This is another significant number I want to share with you. Wumart is the pioneer for working with Wumart. Now, Wumart, 80% of sales go through Wumart. And this number including home delivery and also use this intelligent self-checkout on the spot. Scan and go, yeah. I believe in the future, when we consider retailers' digital transformation, APP penetration for both wide and depth will be very important matters. Now I'm going to talk about Wumart. In fact, when I talk about Demo, it's another company, but it's something I have done in the past 6 years. According to Richard's arrangement, I'm happy to report the development to you. But for because back to 2014, at that time we do not have Tmall, we only have Wumart. So now I want to come back to Wumart story a little bit. Tmall plus Wumart and the Metro is the digitalization roadmap for retail industry. This house describes basically what Wumart work with the Tmall together to transform the industry. From the top, we see customers, and we cover all kinds of customers, especially after we acquire 80% share of Metro China. Metro China is kind of Sam's Club plus Cisco in the United States. I mean, the food delivery company, Cisco. And it's a very successful company. And it's largest in Europe for food delivery. So now we can meet customers' need, either eat at home or eat at restaurant or eat at companies, even hotels. Yeah. So they can order from home or they can come to stores. We provide custom one-stop shopping experience, and also we use our digital membership systems to really help our customer get a better experience. At the bottom is Dmall's digital retail operating system. It's a comprehensive digital system solution. Digital fulfillment center. These slides want to let everybody understand. In Beijing now, Wumart provide 30 minutes home delivery. Start from store. You say, almost every store for Wumart now has have been used as a warehouse to start the delivery journey. And after we do the 30-minute delivery, customer feel good, more predictable, more accurate, and achievable delivery time. That customer make better use of time. Deliver as fast as 30 minutes. We divide every day is 31 times loss. We only need 20 minutes to pick up even 10 items order in 20 minutes. Maybe I want to talk a little bit about transformed Wumart play a very important role in fighting with COVID. Since early 2020, the world has been sadly swamped in COVID-19 epidemic. It's still raging in many parts of the world, and some countries are seeing a rebound of the virus. In order to help our customers, because in Beijing, 80% of the Wumart customers have been digitalized. They are using the app. So we can use the app, reach them, and they can use the app to order what they want. And due to the epidemic issue, the business, for the business people, it's hard to really deliver merchandise to residential area. Many residential areas have been locked down. So, we try very hard to serve our customer. Yeah. During the COVID-19 explosion in Beijing, China, Wumart Demo create 6,200 self-pickup stations across China. These self-checkout stations just located inside the lockdown business, the residential area. So they can stay home. They can stay home and get the basic supplies. Because they are based at community centers and local convenience stores to deliver safe and sufficient goods to residents in lockdown communities. So this has been very welcome. Residents can pick up their online orders in a few minutes. This also increased delivery efficiency significantly as door-to-door home delivery move force to the self-pickup stations. So delivery workers can handle more orders at times safely. Here's the Harvard Business School's case study. This case study reflect what Wumart has done, partnering with other businesses to share labor, but they do not use the real name. They use the Chisuper faced the severe labor shortage in central weeks of the COVID-19 crisis due to high share of quarantine workers and the simultaneous increase in demand for home delivery, which raised the need for operators in his stores. They decide to work with a catering and the cooking association, whose operations were temporarily closed, to share labor with them. The number is over 1,000 employees. This sharing help retailers and catering operators, just to make the people life easier at a hard time. After digitalize your customers, you can really use this function to allocate some very special merchandise to your customers. For example, if you only have 10,000 eggs, and you want every shopper come here to get 1 egg. If you do not have the app, the Wumart system to help you, when a customer come to our checkout, they check, then they go. They may come back, take another egg. But as we have Wumart system behind, so for Wumart, now it's easily just identify every customer. They have got this merchandise already. So, you can limit it. He cannot buy again. This is a story for multi. Maybe it's hard for American to understand, what this represents, because multi is a very expensive liquor in China. Everybody wants the price, although the official price is around 1,500 yuan, but after you buy it, other people may give you additional 1,500 yuan to buy that multi. So, and what we work with the multi group is to try to sell multi to the person who really drink this liquor other than resell. So Wumart system, the membership system help a lot. Yeah. And I also want to talk about a little bit more, because we have a very strong digital system. In the first month of pandemic, we help supplying Beijing, the capital, with more than 20 million people, face masks successfully. The first step is we notice some tragedy may happen, so we purchase about 20 million face masks from Republic of Korea. And after we took this in, although today, China and other countries can produce so many face masks, but at that time, you cannot find existing face masks resources. So we began to sell all those face masks based on digital allocations. Every day we supply 300, 400 face masks to the market, but one app ID can only buy one time 2 face masks. This has just make the face masks allocation be fair to everybody. At that time in Beijing, their slogan, if you want to buy face masks, come to Wumart. This slide, I want to talk about safety, food safety and traceability. Because, we acquire 80% from Metro. Metro has very strong food safety capability and have very high standards. So, and for the movement of food through specific states for production, processing, and distribution, every step has been monitored carefully and apply the very high standards. The last thing I want to say is the digital operation and consolidation in the future. Why I say that? After I describe what we have done in the past 6 years, in fact, if we put everything together, we use digitalization as a weapon to really operate retail business better and also to consolidate the retail business in China. Overview of retail sales in China and the United States. This chart is very interesting. If we talk about the market size, China's retail market is similar to the United States, but China's market is very, very fragmented. You see, for 2019, top 10 retailers in the United States contributed to a total market share of 24%. But in China, top 10 retailers only have 1.5% market share. So that means this market needs to be consolidated. And I would like to say, with the digitalization's strong support, the consolidation could be easier. Tmall plus Wumart Metro model has proven with our strong consolidation capability and our unique way to combine, warehouse and stores. This is something translates from Chinese, maybe not that easy to understand. I would like to say we use the floor of stores as a departing point for home delivery. So you can consider a store as warehouse. The era of mobile internet and AI technology make joint procurement and digital-driven supply chain possible and promote large-scale consolidation opportunities. Wumart plus Metro plus Tmall model have stepped out of the role of Chinese retail enterprises embracing internet and comprehensive digitalization, and have achieved initial results in strong organic growth and post-M&A integration and the synergies building. Our digitalization strategy has enabled not only hundreds of chain retailers, including Wumart itself, with the improved efficiency and the revenue, but also created more convenient and satisfactory omnichannel shopping experience for millions of customers. In the future, China will surely produce $100 billion size retail consolidators. This is some calculations from the market size. In the United States, Walmart's annual sales is over 530 billion US dollars. It's much bigger than this number. We believe the sensible operating can truly have sustained innovation capability, and the sensible company can implement high standard of food safety and operate efficiently and achieve economies of scale. The last word is embracing digitalization, return to business essence. Thank you, Richard. Now I turn the podium to you.
Daniel, thank you so much. That's a really information-rich presentation. Really appreciate you taking the trouble to give the statistics and really the details. We have tons of questions. I'm going to kind of summarize the questions and reorder them. I want to go back to when you started DMall, because it's kind of not an easy play back in 2014, 2015. China had very convenient, very local grocery outlets all over the place. People could get groceries close by quite easily. And on the other hand, Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent had all established e-commerce platforms by then that were already very big players in the market. How did you see the market opportunity for DMall as different from them, and how did you try to distinguish yourself in what was already a crowded space?
Thank you, Richard. It's a very good question. In fact, today, for fresh and FMCG market, we just face dilemma as you described. Traditional grocery stores cannot meet customers' demands. Customers now have omni-channel demands. They want to shop at stores, but in the meantime, they want to shop online. And also they want almost immediate deliveries, especially after COVID-19. Everybody really understand home delivery is quite easy. It's manageable, especially if they order something in 30 minutes, in 15 minutes, they can get it. So they like that. From this point, we can understand why central delivery e-commerce cannot satisfy customers' fresh online demand. But for traditional stores, they have to improve themselves. I always believe stores will be there, even after some years. But stores have to be a different stores of today. Stores have to be enabled by digitalization. And store needed to provide online services to do home delivery. In the meantime, stores have to reach their customers through app or other digital ways. They cannot just rely on mouth to mouth or just put some advertisement on the newspapers. This time, gone.
Right. So, if I'm correct, DMall is like a back end, a platform that these individual retailers can use for their own stores and their own brands, right?
Yes, yes.
So it's much, more broad than just the Wumart brand. So
Yes.
I'm surprised Alibaba and Tencent were not all over that. Was it because of your knowledge of traditional retail that you were able to really get a foothold, or were you targeting a different market
Uh,
than the?
uh, Go ahead, Richard.
No, go ahead. That's it. That's my question.
uh,
Actually, it's a
yeah,
question from our audience.
okay. Yeah, uh, the audience is right. You know, to do something, put offline stores with online uh, e-commerce together, it's not easy job. Probably for big internet players, it's not their big advantages. For example, in the United States, in the past several months, online grocery sales, tripled. But many of the sales come from Walmart, come from Target,
Yeah.
from Instacart, but not everything comes from Amazon. So maybe it's a very
Good
similar
point.
situation for China. And you're right, in order to provide a good platform for brick-and-mortar retailers to transform themselves digitally, number one, all developers for this platform have to be expert of retail business. In the meantime, they have to understand digitalization quite well. That's why I said embracing digitalization, return to business essentials. You have to put two things together. Otherwise, you will not be successful. In addition to that, the third point, you have to be very patient. This is not like an app. After you develop it, after the user like it, then maybe one day you can have 1 million downloads. You almost be there. So, but we
Yeah.
spent 5 years to develop the Emo OS. We have 600 modules there already. It's not easy job. 1,000 people work on that.
Yeah. So, kind of the other aspect of this whole online and offline unification, you've got to have really good delivery. And I think that a lot of especially in the earlier days, e-commerce was really driven in China because delivery was very cheap. Now, COVID-19 has given you a good new group of people who are very happy to be involved in delivery. I thought that was really interesting. But I'm curious, as prices go up in China, how do you
Mhm.
maintain viable delivery, especially because I think there's going to be more pressure about safety as well as about speed
When you talk about safety, it's
of the
food
delivery
safety.
person, not to have a
You
traffic
were food
accident,
safety.
that kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
understand. Yeah, and I think we see the trend. Gradually, customers began are willing to accept, pay some money for delivery because they really need this service. Initially, internet players use free strategy, just to try to lure customers, go to them. But after some time, they, the customer understand if they want some good quality services, they need to pay some money. And this began to a trend. So, and I do not worry too much about in the future, if delivery companies or the e-commerce operators began to charge the money for delivery, all the customers just gone. No, and they are
Yeah.
used to, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so kind of looking forward, a couple of questions. I think your point about consolidation being in store is a very good one. That's also very important to look at. Um, but I'm curious about new kinds of technology things and what role they might play. So, for example, uh, are your operations using artificial intelligence in order to, say, optimize prices or to develop special customer experiences yet?
Yes, we are doing that. And we are also using AI to optimize the offering in stores and also in the app. Definitely, because you are using AI technology, you can provide something they are really suitable for individual customers. This helps a lot. I believe digitalization is not just provide a home delivery, just add some new services, but the fundamental things of retail operation will be optimized. And this is no doubt, yeah. I
So,
believe.
so I guess this also, new technologies like that can help in order to guarantee food safety, like you mentioned.
Yes, yes.
Is anyone starting to use blockchain in China to identify where vegetables come from and things like that?
Yeah, well, people are talking blockchain for a long time. And,
Yeah.
there are still some arguments about, so what's the blockchain? It's a technology, it's a standard, it's a new model, whatever. But I think the basic idea have been used in many scenarios. And maybe, I believe, I believe more blockchain is a way of thinking,
Yeah.
and it's a set of standards, and
Okay.
maybe
Are you seeing a kind of increase in, say, higher end preferences in the market, like for organics? You're in a very good position to see new trends, I would think.
the answer is yes. People care for safety more and more, and they are willing to pay some premium for high standard food. Yeah. So that's the reason why importing products are selling well. For example, Metro China sell 25% more products from importing and its private labels. Many of them are organic food. Uh, those merchandise, those SKUs have been went through Star Farm. I just mentioned the traceability system.
Yeah. So the multi example is also really interesting.
Yeah.
And actually, where I'm going with the multi example is another question from the audience. Um, do you think you're going to see more direct product maker to consumer relationships so that the retailer is kind of not part of it anymore? I mean, in some ways, what you've done for
uh,
multi kind of eliminates the need for a middleman.
uh, yes or no? And many people talk about C2M, but I think it's not that easy. For example, on multi, basically the product is not very complex.
Yeah.
But if they just try to sell multi directly, it's still hard for them to manage that. And I have to say the cost could be very high and the efficient is not good enough. You know, if you work with nationwide digitalized grocery supermarkets, then you can serve more people easily. You
Yeah,
know, nobody just come to buy multi. They buy something else. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So one of the hot topics in kind of retail here is the registerless store, right? Amazon has
Right.
Go, I think, and you go in and something is watching your activity in the store, and your account automatically gets charged. Do you see that happening in China, or is China actually already ahead?
You know, uh, in fact, 2, 3 years ago, this topic is very hot. Um, People talk a lot about maybe we don't need clerks in store anymore, and customer come in with its mobile or some other device, then they take anything. All this activity have been recorded and by cameras and analysis by the big data, whatever. But in fact, at least until now, this experiment is very expensive and maybe cannot be used maybe for 100 for 1,000 stores. So, and what I would like to suggest, probably some combination, technology innovation, use technology to solve part of hard, dirty job.
Mm-hmm.
Then make the people use their talent, solve some more advanced problems. Maybe it's another way.
As you're talking about these expenses and so forth, one of the real challenges that online e-commerce has caused to all industries involved in retail, I think, is a difficulty in supporting profit margins, right? How do you see the impact of this new kind of unified world on the profits? And I'm not specifically asking about D-Mall or about Wumart. I'm really asking about the retail industry in general. How do you support profit margins? I guess part of my thinking is in the department store space, Walmart and Target are doing great here, whereas Neiman Marcus is in real trouble.
Yeah, and this is a very good question. This is a challenge retailers are facing right now. And some e-commerce pioneers, they use the strategy of losing money to enlarge the market. Maybe they attract more and more customers, but they make money from something else. Yeah, and for retailers, they have to make money to survive, to support
Yeah.
themselves. So, and they definitely is challenging. I think retailers have to see those challenges seriously. And
Yeah.
if retailers do not reinvent themselves, they could be pushed out of the market. And so what they can do? My suggestion is they should come together, become alliance, and use a same advanced digital platform to really make their digital capability can compete with a tier one e-commerce operator. In addition to that, I think supply chain should be jointly developed. Yeah, if you have a very small supply chain, I don't think big manufacturers will pay attention to you.
Right.
But if 100 retailers come together, and if they have 500 billion RMB sales, other people will pay attention to you. However, there are some challenges too. How to really bring everybody come together to share the same digital platform, to share the same supply chain platform, how the supply chain platform make it easier for every retailer just to plug in, just plug in, like use electricity, like you use
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
So
as basic. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. But maybe one sentence I want to add is digitalization can help you make the supply chain platform be utilized among retailers easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Daniel, I think that we will call an end to the formal session. Can you stay for a few more questions? Because we'll do this next part offline without recording, but we've got a few more things we'd really like to ask. First of all, everyone, if you would, please join me in giving Dr. Zhang a great hand. We really appreciate a wonderful, informative presentation today. So let's close the recording, and then I'll ask one or two more questions to get started.